Sofia.
Hi, I'm Guillemette.
Hi, I'm Abrar. And this is our forest biome we created.
So what can you tell us about rainforests?
There are more than 5,000 different creatures living in the rainforest.
Rainforest has lots of rain each day. Rainforests have lots of beauty and different types of plants.
Rainforest. There's also a rainforest called the Amazon rainforest. It has a big river. That's called the Amazon River.
Rainforest has a lot of green plants and green trees. That's why they call it the green carpet. There are lots of trees and there can be different type of weathers, different animals.
We created this world by using World Painter.
And it's a complete Minecraft world now. You can come in and play in the rainforest now, right?
Yeah.
And this is my Taige world that I've been working on.
Hello, I am Talha.
This is my helper that helped me. Over here we have a little river area back there, and also have
Some trees like
grand fir trees, Alaskan tiger,
Cedar trees,
and lots of
pine
trees, and Douglas.
And this is what it looks like. We don't want it like crowded up and everything, so we made some space in it.
Yeah, can you zoom into the mountain? Okay. So just over by, we have the mountain over here because it's a taiga, and
We have a mountain because the taiga is also very cold. That's why we added a big mountain.
we're going to add in some wolves, and we'll pretend that they're Arctic foxes.
And we'll dig it down a bit so it doesn't look flat on the top.
And then also put some things on.
Like some webs, we could put some on.
Yeah, we'll put some webs here as well, because look at the spacing. This is like, if you ever paint brands, these are like the spacings and brands that they have. You can just see through it, and you've got the bits. We didn't make this. We used the world paper.
World paper to make like that stuff.
Yeah, just to shout
We
out to
added
them.
some trees in there. First we had to discover our biome. And then we went on to World Painter and made our biome.
Oh yeah, shout out to World Painter. You should try that out. And over here we also have we don't have as many. We're like over there, but they're a bit smaller and stuff over there. And you can see how they're just hanging off the edge of it.
And this is sort of like a lake we have here, like
A massive lake. It's like it's very deep, because what happens a lot of the time is it's not the deepest lake that we could do, because what happens a lot of the time is snow falls off of the mountain into it, but that doesn't happen in Minecraft, so it's fairly impossible.
So if you put gravel, all of that is gravel, it will just fall into that.
We've got gravel inside the mountain. Did you know that?
Josh.
Hi, this is Niko, and we're working on the Arctic Tundra. We did it on World Painter, and this is how it turned out.
So, me and Niko are quite happy about it. So we just wanted to tell you some information about the tundra.
These are some of the plants that live in the tundra. Arctic moss,
Arctic willow, barberry, caribou moss,
diamond leaf willow, Labrador tea, Cascade flower,
tufted saxifrage, lichen, terrestrial algae,
aquatic algae. Most of the blocks that we're using are stone, dirt, and snow because most of it's snow because it's really cold in the Arctic tundra. These are some of the plants that live that we mentioned that live in the water. We couldn't get them in because they were a bit they're really hard to find. So some of these plants, and Minecraft don't have all the plants in the world. So there's Arctic moss. They adapted to go in the water, so the wind wouldn't blow them away and stuff.
Terrestrial algae and aquatic algae, as you might expect, because algae usually or always, I'm not sure, grows in the water.
Yeah, but terrestrial grows on land.
Yeah.
That's why it's called terrestrial algae.
So I guess that's all. And welcome to our Alpine Tundra video.
It's the
as you can see, somewhere up there is a cliff. And in my biome, I used cedar trees and pine trees, and fir trees. So
what kinds of animals would you find in the Alpine tundra?
Well, Google thinks that you can find a chinchilla.
But you can also I think you can find deer maybe.
I think you can also find a llama. A yak. A yak.
Got in a plant.
And what kind of temperature would you have?
Cold.
It would be warmish, coldish. So basically
Like here.
spring. Basically kind of spring.
Like,
but when you go to the Arctic, it's going to be freezing cold and you're going to need lots of layers.
hello guys, this is our Minecraft world with Arran and Billy. Okay, so this is our biome desert, and the plants here are the most frequent. We'll say in the order of frequency, the plants in non-plants in the desert. Barrel cactus is 1. The saguaro is 2. Palm trees are 3. Desert willow trees are 4. Desert lily are 5. Desert marigold are 6. Desert sage are 7. Orange pine cactus is 8. Elephant tree is 9.
And the animals you would normally find in the desert are
Sidewinder snakes,
some
rattlesnakes,
and mostly
lemon hippos,
normally some camels, and then you would also find lots of other animals.
What is it like in the desert in terms of temperature and weather?
Mostly this type of desert is really hot, but some deserts are cold. They're called cold deserts, and there are also hot deserts that are next to the ocean. Those are called coastal deserts.
So, hi.
My name is Laura.
Hi, I'm Sonya.
Hi, I'm Jacob.
And today we're going to be talking about snowy and coastal deserts.
The first one here is coastal, where, as you can see, it's a desert which is near the water.
The coastal desert is a desert that's surrounded by water and has little islands in between.
And as you can see, there are a lot of cacti here.
Although it isn't supposed to be near because it's water.
And what's it like in a coastal desert in terms of temperature and how dry it
It's
is?
pretty dry and hot unless you're right next to the water, because it's
Well, if you're in the water.
if you're in the water.
And then what about a snowy desert or a cold desert? What's that
Oh,
like?
they're like pretty cold. As you can see in the name, they have like no cacti, and they're not near any.
My name is Solene, and this is the salt aquatic biome. We have many islands.
My name is Harriet.
My name is Natalie.
Okay, so talk to me
As you
about
can
this
see,
biome.
In those islands, there's palm trees, there's sand, and in the water it's pretty dark. And in the sea there can be sharks, and there can be fish.
Pufferfish.
And if you fish like with a fishing rod, you can catch the fish. It might take a while.
And if you go deep under the water, you will find a lot of fish.
And there can sometimes be octopuses.
And there's a volcano.
Those islands are pretty rural, I guess, because not many people live here. There's special types of house,
Called the Moomerland.
and in the islands we can sometimes have animals on those islands, like there's horses. There's a lot of type of trees that you can find on this island. But you might get confused with them. The marine and the freshwater. This is marine.
And the salt water have way more fish than the clean water.
Right now we don't have the fishes, but normally if you go underwater, there would be many types of fish, maybe like 100 or so.
Hello, this is Victor B and my partner Toby. Okay, so we are on a freshwater biome, like it's the aquatic biome, and yeah. So as you can see, we have like
Been surrounded by trees.
been surrounded by trees, and because we wanted to do that. So yeah. And
the temperature.
the temperature, as you can see, it's
probably
pretty hot, warm, yeah.
During the winter,
but-
it's gonna be pretty cold.
Yeah.
because
Yeah. So yeah, as you can see, we are just going through the island, so you can see what's like. And
And what about the animals that you find, both on land and in the water? What would it be like?
on land, I think birds and I don't know, birds and I think birds and maybe like
mammals.
ants, tiger. No, not tiger. I mean cheetah.
Definitely mammals.
Yeah, definitely mammals.
Electric
Yeah. Now we're just in creative, just to tell you. I've seen a bird there, I think. So yeah. And now as you can see, we have like loads of mountains and we're surrounded by trees too.